Okay guys, what's up? Um, what you're seeing here is a close grip bench press, and what I'm doing at the moment is a transition block in my training. So we've programmed 3 weeks of um, some exercises that are a little bit different to what I'm used to. I generally do things like a seal row, a high bar squat, sumo deadlift, um, a flat barbell bench press, and I think that's about it. Uh, anyhow, I've programmed about 5 or 6 movements, which are the close grip bench press, incline bench press, a front squat, which I end up doing on the Smith machine, a conventional deadlift, which I'm doing actually conventional block pulls, and a barbell hip thrust. I think that's it. Also, I ended up continuing to do the seal row as well. I could have done a chin up or something like that, but I just prefer the seal row and it doesn't really give me any problems. So that's what you're seeing there is the block pull. I have to be careful with these. The reason I'm doing block pulls is because I have an L5S1 disc bulge, and that's been around for about 5 years now since I heard it, and so with doing conventional deadlifts, it always just tends to flare the area up, particularly the day after. So block pulls is a little easier. I still have had a little bit of problem with it, but it's definitely not as bad as pulling from the floor. And that's actually the reason why I originally uh, did sumo deadlifts, because just the starting position and the whole lift, my angle of my lumbar spine is able to be much more upright, and it really, I just haven't had any problems with that injury since doing sumo deadlifts. As you can see, I'm kind of taking the piss there of some people who kind of I don't know. I think they just kind of get a bit too serious about lifting sometimes. They slap themselves. They're like yelling and stomping and stuff like that. And it's just like, chill out, man. You're just lifting. You're not Ronnie Coleman. Um, just lift the weight, and there's no need to like draw attention to yourself. So I thought I'd just take the piss a little bit. So anyway, this is all the secondary work that you're seeing now, which is on this particular day it was shoulders and arms, and I've just programmed from a few blocks back similar secondary work to what I was doing then. However, my last block, which was a real strength focused block, it was low volume. So in this case, I kind of decided to cut back the volume from the previous block before the strength block, because that was very high volume. So I went into it from a volume block to a strength block, which was a little bit lower volume, and now this transition block, which is increased from the strength block, but also reduced from the previous block, if that makes sense. Just because I didn't want to jump straight to a huge amount of volume, and I don't think that I would have handled it too well. I'm already kind of feeling fairly fatigued from doing this amount of work here, so um, yeah, that's all going pretty well. I've actually been able to increase a good number of my lifts, continuing on from the strength block. Actually, some of the things that weren't increasing during the strength block, like a lot of my pressing, I was kind of like stalled on, I suppose. A lot of my leg work continued to increase when I was really focusing on the strength side of things, but a lot of my pressing kind of just like was stagnated. And since increasing the rep ranges, I've really been focusing on doing for my secondary stuff sets of 8 for most of my lifts, and after I can get 3 sets of 8 with good form, what I'll do is just increase to the next increment of weight, and that's been going well. I've gone from doing incline dumbbell press with 54 kilos, just getting sets of 8 at the start of the 3 weeks, and I'm actually at 60 kilos, and it's just the start of the third week now, so we're not even at the end. So hopefully I might be able to hit that 60 kilos for 3 sets of 8 by the end of this week. I'm getting sets of 7 at the moment. This one right here is a close grip bench press with chains actually, and I thought that I would just throw this in as a tricep movement for this block, just for a little bit of fun, a little bit of variety. It really does overload the top half of the movement a little bit more, so you can use a little bit more weight, but I don't know if I'll be keeping it in long term, because I think that just a regular close grip bench press is more or less just as good, and it doesn't take as much effort to set up. This exercise I'm doing because the dumbbell extension that I was doing was giving my elbow a little bit of trouble, because it was just getting so heavy. I was doing 60 kilos on that, and the cable extension obviously isn't as heavy, which is good. So that's it, guys. Thanks for listening once again. Like and subscribe if you liked the video, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.